This is Deepak Jain from American Academy of Financial Management, and this is the first part of a series of sessions which we'll be doing on wealth management, where we'll be talking about what is wealth management, how do you manage your wealth, what are the basic tenets of wealth management. And I start this series by this first session where I'll be talking about what is wealth. Most of us do not correctly understand what is wealth, because what a common person thinks about wealth and what we consider wealth in wealth management are totally different things. So please be with us till the end of the session and you will be knowing what is wealth in detail. The best known definition of wealth is assets minus liabilities is your net worth, and your net worth is your wealth. If I sell all your assets and from the money so generated pay off all your liabilities, the net amount remaining with you after paying your liabilities is called your net worth, and your net worth is your wealth. But this definition of wealth, where we say that wealth is assets minus liabilities or net worth, is incomplete until we understand what is an asset. So what is an asset? What do you really mean by asset? Anything and everything that can be converted into money is an asset. जिस भी चीज को आप पैसों में कन्वर्ट कर पाओ वही आपके लिए एसेट है. एंड बाय दिस डेफिनेशन, आर योर स्किल्स एन एसेट? Is your experience an asset? Is your education an asset? Is your network an asset? So when I'm talking about assets, I want you to think beyond physical and financial assets and also include the intangible assets like network, skills, etc. But still, by this definition of assets and liabilities, net worth, we are still not completely understood what is wealth. To completely understand what is wealth, we go to the classification of wealth as in wealth management. So how do you classify wealth in wealth management? In wealth management, we say a person has or can have four kinds of wealth. And if you understand this classification, you will be able to understand what is wealth. So what are those four types of wealth in wealth management? The four types of wealth in wealth management are: number one, human wealth of a person; number two, financial wealth of a person; number three, the intellectual wealth of a person; and number four, the social wealth of a person. So let me explain all these four kinds of wealth one by one so that you are better able to know your wealth. Let's start by understanding what is human wealth. Your human wealth is or are people in your life whom you are either converting into money or can convert into money. आपके जीवन में वो लोग जिनको या तो आप पैसों में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो या कर सकते हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, योर फैमिली मेंबर्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल your employees, and the most important human wealth which you have is called you yourself. Are you not converting yourself day in and day out into money? So human wealth is that part of wealth which is human in nature, which is personal in nature, which is something which you are or can convert into money. Now let's go to the second type of wealth. The second type of wealth is the financial wealth. Now what is your financial wealth? Financial wealth is the term wealth which you use in general parlance. In common terminology, what you call wealth is financial wealth. So all your real estate, real assets, physical assets, financial assets, etc., etc., are your financial wealth. So all of you understand financial wealth. I won't go more into this. Let's move to the third kind of wealth. The third kind of wealth is your intellectual wealth. What is your intellectual wealth? Intellectual wealth is your mind being converting into money. your intellect being converted into money, your mental faculties being converted into money. Intellectual wealth could be some unique skill you have, some unique way of working you have developed, some unique knowledge you have, some unique education you have. It could be some IPR you are holding, intellectual property right, some patent you are holding, some royalty you are getting for literary or software works. All of that is your intellectual wealth. And in some professions, this intellectual wealth is the most important wealth a person has created. I remember I was once sitting with a very famous software developer and we were discussing his wealth. And I just casually asked him, what if I tell you that there will be a big earthquake in next 2 minutes and you have just 1 minute to save one thing out of this house of yours? What will you save? And he opened the drawer of his table and took out a detachable hard disk drive and said to me, if I am only able to save one thing from this house of mine, I will be saving this detachable hard disk drive. And I was quite surprised. I asked him, why is it so important for you? He said, this drive consists of the source code of all algorithms and softwares I have developed till date. And if I have this, I'll be able to recreate all the wealth which I lose. Because this is really the real source of my wealth. So that's called the intellectual wealth. Now the last kind of wealth which people have is the social wealth. So what is social wealth? Social wealth are your relationships. The relationships which you are either converting into money or can convert into money. These relationships could be with clients, customers, it could be with suppliers, vendors, it could be with agents, brokers, it could be with people in power, it could be with government, it could be with particular community, particular kind of professionals. Any relationship which has the potential of being converted into money is your social wealth. And in some professions which are client facing professions or networking professions, this social wealth is their most important wealth which they have created. In fact, in some professions they say your network is equal to your net worth. Such is the importance of social wealth. So we can say a person has four kinds of wealth: human wealth, financial wealth, intellectual wealth, and social wealth. And if I add all of them, if I make a complete list of all four of them, then I'll be knowing what is the wealth I possess. There's another question which I constantly get when I take this session on what is wealth. People ask me, what is the difference between human wealth and social wealth? If you want to understand the difference between human and social wealth, there are two major differences between human and social wealth. The first difference is, in human wealth, there is some sort of ownership. You own that person, either directly or indirectly. Social wealth, there is no ownership. The wealth is just being created because of relationship. Secondly, human wealth is insurable. You can buy life insurance on human wealth. Social wealth is not insurable. And you can ask me, how can I insure my human wealth? So I ask you, can you buy a life insurance policy on the life of a family member where you pay the premium and the family member is the life assured? Yes, you can do that if there is an insurable interest. Then I ask you, can you buy a life insurance policy on your own life where you are paying premium on your own life? Yes, that's very common. And lastly, I ask you, can I buy life insurance policy on an employee? There are life insurance policies like keyman insurance, like employer-employee insurance, which allow you to do that. That means human wealth is something which is accepted in the finance world and it is even insurable. Now, what I want all of you to do is, in the comment section below, you name your most important human wealth apart from you. Just write the name of that person. Then name your most important financial wealth. Then name your intellectual wealth, which you consider your most important wealth, which you have created intellectually. It could be some skill, some knowledge, some process, some way of working you have developed. And lastly, name your most important social wealth, the relationship with the person whom you can convert into money. And this relationship needs to be apart from you, your family, and employees. Somebody apart from these three. This would help you and others to understand this topic. Now, the most important step in wealth management is knowing your wealth. And we must make a list, and a complete, accurate list of our human wealth, financial wealth, intellectual wealth, and social wealth. So take a piece of paper, write the heading human wealth, and note down those family members, employees, you yourself are there as your human wealth. Then make a list of all your financial assets, financial wealth. Then make a list of all your intellectual wealth. Then make a list of all your social wealth, which has the ability to be created, converted into money. And now you will know your wealth. Because unless you know what you possess, you cannot manage it. So friends, what we learned in this session is wealth is not restricted to financial wealth. A common person just believes that wealth is financial wealth. A wealth manager has a much broader view of wealth, where they consider the other types of wealth also. This session is a small part of what we learn or what we teach in our designation, which is the highest designation in wealth management, called Chartered Wealth Manager. And this designation allows you to master wealth management. It allows you to manage wealth, either which is your own wealth or other people's wealth, for a reward. If you want to pursue this designation or want to know more about this designation, we have given a link in the description box, which you can click and fill the form, the inquire now form, and we'll send you the details of the program. Happy learning. Thank you.
Reach out today and let's do it professionally.